Good morning, Flosstube. This is Michelle at the Striped Rose, and today is April 30th. And I'm going to show you what I've been working on and some new things I have. And I have a huge basket that usually sits under my side table by my chair. And these are charts that have been in here probably for years, but they're my immediate radar. So I thought, if you have nothing else better to do, after I show you what I've been working on, I thought you might want to go through my stash basket. This is not my my whole stash. This is just the things that I've pulled in the past year or two and stuck in here to remind me to stitch on them. The thing that I've been stitching, oh, and I said I wasn't going to do mania. I'm going to do mania. I am going to start a new project on the days where I don't have a project from last year, except for two instances, because this is what I've been working on. And I've made a couple of color changes. I started this for mania last year, and we were going to the beach. Jerry had a conference at the beach, and so I grabbed like one thread for each project. And so for this project, I grabbed putty. Putty is not one of the called for colors, but I went with it anyway. So I changed putty. The bird was supposed to be Otter Creek. I changed it to Brethren Blue. The star, I changed it to Classic Colorworks Yield Gold instead of Schneckley, because my Schneckley wasn't doing it for me. My Mountain Mist looks just like Lexington Green, and it wasn't what I wanted. I wanted something a little more aqua, a little more blue, so I used Classic Colorworks Barrel Cactus, which is really pretty. It's similar to Old Money, the color Old Money. And then I didn't have dried thyme, so I just used Endive because it's a Blackbird Designs pattern, and of course you can use Endive. So if you want to pause it, I can show you and then instead of Palomino, I used the putty. So that is what I'm using. This is what I'm working on. This is part of the ABC Darien series, and on the Blackbird Design website and on Silver Needle website, they have this beautiful picture of all, I think 12 of them stitched individually and framed, and it's really, really beautiful. The other thing, I remember last time I podcast, I said that I had started Baby It's Cold Outside, but I couldn't find it. I haven't worked on it anymore, but I did want to show it to you. And this is vintage country mocha, so it's, you know, dirty looking. I don't usually do that, but I did. And I'm using a Victoria Motto color that I absolutely fell in love with. And I asked her if she had more, and she said no. So this must have been a club of the month. But oh my goodness, it's a beautiful, beautiful red. And Picnic Basket and English Ivy. I don't know if English Ivy was called for, but that's what I'm using. And then the Picnic Basket, I think, was called for. But that red, I don't know why I have my coffee right here. That red is just really, I really love that red. And I hope it lasts a long, long time. So that was Baby It's Cold Outside. There's a Sal this year. And in honor of Leanne, Beth Twist, if you go to her website, she's freely offered a little red cardinal to insert either right there where a tree is or on the other side, if you wanted to do that. Or if you wanted to do that little red cardinal as a scissor pop, that would be nice. Okay, so the big bad wolf of my stitching life these days has been Reflex de Soie G Ledger 1898. Not because I don't love it, but because I love it so much, I want it to be perfect, and I'm making myself crazy. For my birthday in March, I ordered a Creative Carol bag. I absolutely love it. I love hummingbirds. I can't imagine living on a continent without hummingbirds. But I don't feed them. Number one, because I'm scared of, if I don't thoroughly clean out the feeder, I'm scared some fungus or mold is going to grow in there and be bad for them. Also, they do eat bugs, and I see them zipping around my flowers anyways, and I figure that that's probably better for them. So I guess if it were during a migration period, I mean, you know, they really need just the energy, but I'm just worried that I couldn't keep it clean enough for them. So I don't know. I almost thought this year about doing hummingbirds again, but okay. So GR Ledger, I gave my mom the cover piece to see if she wanted to use it in her junk journaling. So I don't have that. So this is the one that Michelle Rudy has been talking about, running Hurry Up Mom on Instagram, running with stitches, the lady in Germany. She's working on it, and she's using the Gloriana silks. And I just wiped lipstick off my glass, and now I'm going to touch my cross stitch. And okay, so here's what I've got so far. And it's just on light mocha, that like everything else I do. I've got to move this coffee cup. I got to move that coffee cup. Okay. Like everything else I do, it's on light mocha, and that's fine. I don't care. Okay, so this color that is the interior of the border, that is a Gloriana, and that is actually the called for where I've got the cranberry. And Running with Stitches is doing it as the outer border, like it's called for. It's a really, really pretty color. I don't know why I thought I had to do that. It's a really pretty color, but to me on the chart, this looks cranberry, and I wanted it cranberry, so I used Dinky Dye's Cranberry Cocktail, and I'm good with that. And then I followed someone else's suggestion and used the called for outer color as the inner color. I'm happy. I like it. That's good. I'm using Swan Valley from Dinky Dyes for the light green. I'm good. This Honeyed Bronze is the called for Gloriana for the gold and the stem. I'm good. The letters on the chart, to me, some of the letters look red, like Buckeye Scarlet, I think. No, Schoolhouse Red. It's the Gloriana silk. And some of the red ones look cranberry. So I'm just going by the picture. I think on the chart they're called for all to be the red, but I'm looking at the picture and doing some in the cranberry and some in the red. That's fine. That's the sagey color. My problem was the pink. This is actually Jakey Brown. This is not the called for in any of the three conversions given. This, I don't know. I think that's Gloriana Light Slate. I was gardening this morning. I don't know. That's too bright. That's not going to happen. The pink, it may happen. It may just have to happen. So that's where I am on G Ledger. I love the chart. I love some of the colors that that I've got. The pink I could love. The pink in the chart is a really faded pink. And the called for is this by, oh my goodness, I don't even know which one this is. This is a Gloriana, but I wanted it to be pink. I didn't want all the taupe in there. So I bought lots of other pinks. I tried way more than this, pinks. And I just haven't been able to come up with a pink that's faded enough. So I may just use Jakey Brown. That's a little warm for what I was going for. But at some point, something's just going to have to get stitched. Something's just going to have to get stitched. So if you just pick a conversion and go with it, you probably will live longer than me. You'll probably be happy, and cholesterol will be better than mine. Outlook on life. Just pick a conversion and go with it. I've been working a bit more on Beth Twist's Valentine sampler. I was trying to do a pomegranate a day. The minute I come up with a really great idea like that, I mean, how bad would it be to just do a pomegranate a day? You would think I could do that. So this is Tulip Silk by Belsois. And I went ahead and bought a second one just in case. I wasn't sure. I'm using one strand. I'm doing it on 40 count, but I wasn't quite sure if I could do it. I love all the Be Well free charts, and I've got 4 or 5 picked out I really want, and I want to keep it either by my school table or on my nightstand or somewhere that I can see it, not just as a coronavirus thing, but as just a mental health. I like that. Be Well. I have a Ray Dunn mug that says that. I really, really like that just as a mental health thing. If anybody has suffered from depression, postpartum depression, anxiety, all three, Be Well. I just thought that would be a nice little mood booster. I saw this recently, yesterday, I think, on Instagram. Somebody had made this into a drum. Brenda and Laura are selling me on drums. But I bought some Lady Dot Creates chenille. I want to do that as a little pillow. And also this one from Needlepoint Press. It says Be Well, and then at the bottom it says Refuse to Wilt. And I love that. So I just need to finish the flowers. I cannot find DMC 3072. I can't find it in my stash. So I'm just waiting for that gray color and then to finish the grass. Zipping right along. Okay, so I was going to have Blackbird Designs Garden Club finished by April, the end of April, today. Because I was going to do 2 charts in March and 2 charts in April and be done with it. So here's what it is. And that's, the fabric is bigger. That's the end. I was doing 3 rows of 4. So I still need to finish Is My Home right there. I need to finish that one. And then I just need to finish 11 and 12. You would think, right? You would think, as much as I love that, you would think I would do it. All right. The other thing, I kind of haven't been working on this as much now because my rotation's out the window. I guess you realize that. I was working on this. This was my New Year's Day start. I was working on this like a house of fire until I started that Rosy Morning. When Market came out and all the Blackbird designs came out, I wanted to stitch a Blackbird design so badly. And I was like, no, you have to finish Garden Club before you can start another Blackbird designs. I was very strict about this. But I'm also very clever. So I went in my Mania starts from last year and found that Rosy Morning. And it had like 10 stitches in it. So it was not a new start. It was a whip. I'm very clever. But this is what I was stitching on in the beginning of the year, and this is what I do want to get done this year. I want to get this done this year. I really love it. And guess what I'm stitching it on? Light mocha, 40 count. I was fine with all the colors. I was more than fine with all the colors, except the blue, the little blue of the birds. I didn't like the called for Shepherd's Pasture Silk. I tried what Nicole had used, Dinky Dyes, Arctic Ice maybe. I didn't like them. I was just going to. And then I thought, you love DMC 927. I love 926, 927, and 928. So one of those, I don't actually know which one. I hope I can figure it out. Not 926. It must have been 927, I bet. I used for the outline, you know, the light blue that is Shepherd's Pasture in the chart. It's one of my, I just love those three colors in DMC. So why not just use them and move on, right? So no more color conundrums for Caroline Broomhead. So as soon as I get some Blackbird out of my system, like that's ever even possible to get Blackbird out of your system, I will be back to Caroline Broomhead to get that done for the end of the year. All right, so I picked out 9 days in May where I had finished last year's Mania. We're not going back to the year before that. I don't know how many of those I've finished. Oh, I wanted to show you something first. Everybody knows what an African violet is, and you probably have some, but people may not know about an African violet relative that is practically the same growing conditions. Maybe if you're in a pinch, they can do a tiny bit more light, a tiny bit less light, a tiny bit less water, a tiny bit less food. Everything in my house gets the same. Everything gets African violet food. The cacti, the succulents, the ferns, everything gets African violet food. I don't have time. Everything out in the garden either gets tomato food or rose food, whether or not I eat. So, depending on whether or not it's eaten. Plants can't read the bags. They don't know. This is a Streptocarpus, and it's an African violet relative. The problem that I have with these is some of them like to get really, really large, especially some of the older varieties. The newer varieties, they try to make more compact. This is not huge. They can get bigger than this. And sometimes you just have to cut off their leaf if it gets caught in the blinds. The shutters over there got caught in it. Or if they're just too long, you just cut them. And then you root them, and then you have millions more. But they grow with these strappy leaves. The same peat moss, vermiculite. Please don't send hate mail about peat moss. Peat moss, vermiculite, and perlite. I shouldn't have even said peat moss. And they bloom. They start blooming like in April, and they bloom till the fall. So this has 3 stalks up right now, and it has, I don't know if I can show them to you. It has little babies started up. I love McCoy pots, especially aqua McCoy pots, and this is not one. Like 15 or 16 years ago when Martha Stewart had a line at Kmart, she made some reproduction looking McCoy pots, and I have 2 of them in this peach color, this taupey peach color, which was not a McCoy color, but I love it. And I don't even know what other styles and colors that she had because I wasn't obsessed at the time. So I just have two like this. If I could go back in time and go to Kmart, I would buy so many of these. But anyways, this is a Streptocarpus, meaning twisted fruit, because the seed pod is twisted. Usually when mine start setting seed pods, it means I have thrips. Thrips like pollen, and they pollinate things. This is Gloria. It's a pink version of a blue flower called Falling Stars, which I also have and love. But so you can get them on eBay. You can get them on Etsy. If you're in the UK, you can go to Dibley's. All right. So I want to show you some mania starts. I probably need to cut that whole thing out. Okay. I got my Heart Can Rest at from Market. That's going to be a new start. There's going to be a lot of new blackberry starts, whether or not that one is Garden Club is finished, because Mania supersedes everything else. I love this. The only thing I don't love at the moment about it is, you want to come over here and stick your shoe up in my camera so everybody can see you walking around the house in point shoes. My daughters are both dancers, and the world is shut down. And Mary Margaret is majoring in astrophysics and minoring in French and dance. Yeah. Is that right? Yeah. Come here, stick your little footsie over here so they can see your cute little foot in your Legend of Zelda socks.
They're not Legend of Zelda socks. They're regular socks.
So she's having to do all her college classes. I bet you can't stick your foot up here. She's having to do all her all her college classes online, including ballet. We still don't know how that's happening, do we?
No, I'm about to go do a point class in my bathroom because it's the only place that doesn't have carpet.
Bella takes dance at a local studio, and they're doing all their classes online, and she's like, can I come downstairs and do my tap class on the hardwood floors? So it's been a little odd. The only thing I'm not as crazy about is this color, this mossy. I love all greens, but I don't know if I love this green with the other two greens. I might, once it's stitched. I might love it. I don't foresee a huge crisis there. I think I'm gonna not forget about that. I got this because I want to do everything that Tina and Ashley at For the Love of the Stitches do. I don't know how that house. But theirs are beautiful. The frame they've got, Tina has hers in, is beautiful. I love black cats. We need a black cat. Another black cat. So I really want to do this as a mania start. I think there's going to be a Sal May 1st, and I really want to do this. You know, I'm not crazy about 1/1. I love the sentiment in the verse, but I'm not crazy about 1/1, so I was wondering if I could find a berry basket, if I could go through my patterns and find a berry basket to pop in there instead of that. So if anybody does that, let me know what you used. So I'm planning on starting that tomorrow if I have a big enough piece of fabric. This is a new chart I got from Market, but I don't think it's going to be a mania start. New starts and mania starts are kind of mixed up. This is a free pattern from Brenda Gervais that I want to start sometime. I mean, isn't that pretty? Oh, this, I fell in love the moment I saw this. It was somebody's club piece, and I absolutely fell in love with the colors, and I might branch out and do a dark fabric, a gray fabric for that. That is so beautiful, by Stacey Nash Primitives. That is Hannah Jenkinson. That's actually not on my mania. This is not on my mania, but it's a new chart I got, and I'm excited about it. Not on my mania, but I finally got this. There may be some reshuffling. This is not a new chart. I've showed you this a million times for like over a year. This is on my mania. This is on the 10th of May. Okay. This is not on my mania. So obviously I'm not showing you my mania right now. When I was watching Stitching with Rosy, which I really love to do, she was showing a scattered seed pin cushion drum that I think was a club piece, and I didn't catch that when I was listening, so I went and looked up scattered seed samplings, and this one is available, and I really like that. It seems very simple. I'm always deceived when I think something could be just banged out in a night, but I really like that. Oh, and while I was looking at scattered seeds, I got this little guy. But he's so cute with the date, but I don't always like to put random dates. So I thought, you know, the date that we got one of the dogs we have now, which would be like 2011 and 2016. But those wouldn't look as cool as that, so I don't know. Oh, we had a black dog named Dixie Scarlet when I was younger. I was 11. So 1984, would 1984 look good there? It could be Dixie. She was a black Cocker Spaniel. This is not on my mania, and I've showed you this a million times, so I don't really know. It's always worth looking at. Michelle Rudy is doing that. This is on my mania. I ordered this, a PDF of this, Willow Hill samplings. I love different colored pumpkins. I love black cats. I love Halloween. I'd put this up in September and leave it up till December probably. I really, so that is a mania start. This is a free 2018 by the Bay Needle Arts. This isn't a good, actually I think those kind of are the actual colors. I did print it in color. I really like that. That's not on my mania, but I really like it. This is not on my mania. I bought it from a PDF from Willow Hill, but I was talking to my younger niece yesterday. She calls me, she FaceTimes me, bless her heart. She's born in 2009. That means she's 11. She'll be 11 this year. She misses all her friends so much. But she FaceTimes me, and we go and check on the 2 hamsters and the turtle and the fish and the 2 dogs. And she loves animals so much. And so I bought this for me just because I think it's, I mean, I don't really stitch cute patterns. But I don't know, there's something vintage and cute and sweet. And I just thought that would be cute for her, maybe. Because she loves all animals like I do. Except for some spiders, scorpions, ostriches, and squirrels. I don't like those. And marine mammals kind of freak me out because lungs underwater, that kind of freaks me out. But also, you know, I think I'm going to just cover Mary Margaret's new apartment walls. Well, it's a house. New house walls with cross stitches. Have I finished any of them? No. But one of her roommates works at the Humane Society and, you know, wants to adopt all the dogs or wants me to adopt all the dogs. That would be cute too. I don't know. We'll see. This isn't on my mania list, but, you know, if one day... Sometimes I need some extras in case a wild hair. The only thing is, that looks like lavender, you know, like a really muted lavender, but it's gray. So, do I want to stitch gray flowers? I just have to think about that. This is on my mania. I can't show it to you because this is just my copy out of my 2013 Just Cross Stitch Christmas ornaments. This is the Blackbird Designs piece. It's the bird. There's a little house. It says, "Peace be with you, my friend." That's definitely on my mania. This is on my mania. And this is a close second. but I've already got several Halloween pieces, so that would be a good Memorial Day start. This is one of the ones I want to do for Mary Margaret, a gentleman's daughter. How'd your chemistry lab go? Chemistry, at-home chemistry. This one I do not have a cover page. This is the Beth Twist. Oh, I do. The Beth Twist Let Us Be Truly Thankful May edition. I've done 3 of these. There's 6 right now. They used to be $10 each, a download in her Etsy shop. Now she's got all 6 for $20. So that's like 3 something a pattern, you know. So I've done the fall, the Valentines, and the March, April. The problem is I've done 3 of them on 32 count when I used to like 32 count. So now I need to do these. I need to do the other 3 on 32 count. And I've had this, and this is the 3rd year I've had this as a Mania start and not done it. And I've got the fabric. I may try a hoop. I may try a hoop. Okay, then when I was looking at drums, I saw this one. And it's called Sew because the letters S-E-W are in a different color. So this is the color of most of the alphabet. It's called Lagoon. And I had a lot of trouble finding this color. I couldn't find it anywhere. And then I was looking at Cobweb Corner, and she sells the 10-yard skeins, which works out, I think, to be like $1 cheaper per 2. Plus, they're the same. You're getting basically 2 skeins, and they're the same dye lot. That's kind of a big deal. So, that's the letters. And then S-E-W for sew are done in red grape. So, I'm going to try to do my initials, even though my last name starts with a B now, and that would be first. But if it's in a drum and you're reading it, it's in a circle, so who's to say which is first and which is last? So that's Lucy Beam, and I love the little spool and the little safety pin with the, I just love it. Love it, love it, love it. So that needs to go, that's definitely a Mania start. All right. Then the other Mania start is from the Sewing Club book. Mine still stinks to high heaven. This. And I bought 36 count fabric for this and the Sew drum roll. And I think the Scattered Seeds Adam and Eve drum roll. So those are my 9-ish projected starts for Mania, starting tomorrow. So I think I've showed you the things oh no, I haven't showed you my new. For my birthday, I was going to buy the Rose Wreath GGR sampler that Nicole's Needlework and Reese are stitching, and I had it in my basket. But then I saw this one, a GGR chart, and I decided to just get one. And so I got this one. Elise Schluter, 1866. Look at that border. Oh my goodness, there is so much good stuff in there. That's just amazing. Amazing. So that is the GGR chart I got myself for my birthday. On one of the Stash Unload or Stash Unloading, or it might have been Samplers Through Time. That's another site, and it's just samplers on another Facebook page. I got this. I love this when it came out, but I didn't want to buy it because I've still got the Garden of Eden one, and no, I never bought Noah's Ark, but I thought, I haven't done the Garden of Eden yet. But I like the idea of this one because it's done in squares. Like I'm doing so well on my Blackbird Designs Garden Club, finishing the squares. But I really love that. And this one's hard to find. I don't know why that one's hard to find. I just replenished, beefed up, as it were, my Blackbird Designs books for my birthday. So I'm not going to show you all of those. But I did want to show you me losing my mind completely and totally and buying. Oh, I don't know. I just thought, you know, I'm doing so well with Garden Club. You know, it's taken me like 4 years, and I've got like 2.5 charts left to do. I've been just buying, like, every time I order, I just buy one of those. And then I just got some books. I won't show you all my books. I did order, the moment I saw it on Sampler, on Scarlet Country Sampler's website, the minute that I saw the reprint of Autumn, Spring, and Winter, Autumn, Summer, and Winter, I bought those immediately. And I'm hoping that they're on the front porch right now. Bella, what? Will you check the mail? Mm-hmm. It doesn't bother me that there's not 4. 3s are more aesthetically pleasing usually, and you'd have to really make the alphabet a lot bigger if you were going to have 4. So I'm pretty happy with it. All right. So the basket. Well, let me show you one more thing first. I started a new crochet blanket. Now, this one's not done. Lots of them aren't done. Lucy at Attic 24, I always tell you, if you're starting crochet or you just want some fresh inspiration for crochet, go to Attic 24 blog. Lucy offers a lot of free, a lot of free patterns, very up close pictures saying stick your hook in this hole right here, which is what I need. This is by a different designer, Coastal Crochet. Anyways, Lucy does colorways. She puts together colorways of yarn. She likes to use 15 to 17 colors per blanket. So she last year had one called Dune, and it was sand colors, seashell colors, mother of pearl inside of shell colors, soft colors, and it was called the Dune colorway. And she had a really pretty pattern, but it just wasn't my cup of tea. I loved the colorway, but not the pattern. So the lady Coastal Crochet has several free patterns and crochet alongs called Cows with a C. And one is called the Seaside Stash Busting Blanket. And one of my friends in real life, like that I can like poke her, she did it. She likes to use up all her random scraps. She doesn't like to have little balls of yarn everywhere. And she did it, and it looked pretty good. So I thought I would do it, but I wanted to use one of Lucy's colorways, so I used Dune, and this is where I am. Except for this color right here is Stylecraft Life DK. Life has wool in it and acrylic. Stylecraft Special, which is what I usually use, which is what Lucy uses, is just acrylic. So that one color, I don't know. I was grabbing the colors that were on the list, and I saw that, and I thought, I might as well use it. So this is the beginning. It's lots of different stitches. This where you do the bobble in a different color, it's complex. It is not complicated. It is not difficult. It is not hard. You just have to pay attention. Therefore, it is just complex. And my heart was pounding, and it drove me insane. But it looks nice, doesn't it? This is not as bad as it looks at all. This is. And there we are. I'm starting, this is going to be another row of this pattern with the little thing in the middle. So these are Lucy at Attic 24's colors, except that Arctic blue or ice blue. But Coastal Crochet's Seaside Stash Busting Blanket. Alrighty, so that is all that I have to show you of like normal stuff, and it's been 40 minutes. So I'm going to stop now and upload this one, and while that's doing, I will show you, I'll just do just a stash dive of what is in this basket, and then it'll upload quickly. So I will be right back.